What up, world? How are we? Lee Bundy, CEO of Team Beast Mode Australia, the messenger of strength, and as my new label goes, the truth. So today I am reaching out to the women of the world. And why I say the women of the world is because we are getting a bit of a dilemma at the moment. Men are putting too much of a facade. Men are hiding behind their fake understanding of who they really want to be. They're too ego pride to reach out. Don't get me wrong, we've had great success for certain men reaching out saying that they want to improve their lives. But what I'm saying is, what I want to teach you women is to be able to understand and to be aware of if you're having a polarity. When I mean polarity imbalancement or a polarity shift in your relationship, which Regan and I did have many years ago, it can destroy your relationship. A woman gets into her masculine leadership role, and then instead of the man, if he's not into his masculine leadership, he will go into his feminine, which for one is not very attractive. People's sex lives normally go down the toilet. Don't get me wrong, women can be in their masculine because, Regan is a leader and she gets into her masculine domination role, but she knows how to get into her feminine, which is very attractive, which is very wooing. As I always say, woman is actually woo man. So, that's a way to look at it. And don't get me wrong, feminine, there's parts of in a man's structure that he needs to have that feminine energy because it is quite powerful still, and that's keeping you open, keeping you emotionally connective. Having that, you're not like a brick or concrete structure. It's when they talk about the yin and yang, it's very, very powerful for a man to still have his feminine, but not to the extreme where he's, becoming, emotionally dependent. You don't want, a man needs to be strong, needs to be the protector, needs to be the leader, needs to be telling the woman, hey, you know what, this, I've got you, this is where we're going. You're not being a bully, you're not being a boss, but you need to have that balance. And in most relationships, unfortunately, a woman would I've seen in certain relationships as well, a woman will be attracted to more masculine males. In some cases, obviously, that's where they would cheat because their partner is not fulfilling certain things, not making the woman feel feminine because he's in his feminine. So it's basically like two women. So a woman that's in her complete ultimate feminine is very attracted to a male that's certain, and he's a leader, he's an authority figure, and he's in his masculine. That's very, very attractive for women. And that's what normally happens in a relationship. The woman, if they don't sort that out, the woman will go walkabouts. It's the same for the man as well. If the woman stays in her masculine, he doesn't find that attractive because he's basically talking to a man and he finds it very threatening. So then he will go and look for, if you guys don't sort that out, then he will go look for a female in her feminine because it's that's attractive to him. And that's why people's sex lives have problems, because it's the whole energy, the polarity shift. It's nothing to do with the attitude. It's whoever's in their dominant energy. So, women of the world, what I'm reaching out to you, if you have a partner, a father, a son, a cousin, or any man in your life that you find that they are caught in their feminine, and I'll tell you how I got into my feminine and how it really destroyed a big part of my life. And if I didn't get into my masculine, Regan wasn't going to put up with it any longer, which was great because it forced me to get my shit together. So I had I was in a relationship was toxic. Instead of me standing up for myself and saying, hey, you know what, this is not right, blah, 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 I was feeling sorry for myself. As they say, they call it depression. That was just me thinking negative thought, feeling sorry for myself. Didn't think of any solution. I was living at the effect of everything as well, just letting all the information, feeling sorry for myself. Oh, poor me, I'm not supposed to be, successful. Yes, I am shit. I'm not a good provider. All these wank thoughts were going through my head, and that got me into my feminine, feeling sorry for myself, not being there, being emotionally dependent. There's nothing wrong with being emotional. Like I cry, I get emotional, but for wins, yeah. So if something happens, I have a really good talk, or I have an amazing interaction with clients, or we have a big win throughout the day. Yes, I get emotional because that's just who I am. It's not because I'm weak. A man that cries is not weak. You guys need to understand that. So through my breakup, I lost a lot of money, I lost a lot of property, I lost a lot of materialistic things, and I lost my way instead of being, hey, you know what, I'll find a solution. So masculine men find a solution and they get shit sorted. Yeah, it's not easy, but you just keep going. For masculine men make things smaller than they are, and they always find a solution. And I wasn't in that energy state. And I met my beautiful fiance now, Regan, who's very driven, who's very, very feminine, and at the same time she's a leader. So when I talk about masculine, it's not butch, it's not, that's her just being I wouldn't even say no masculine, that's her being a feminine leader, which is very assertive, very, helping the world, just very, very spot on, always and ready to rock and roll. And there's times when I'll be in my masculine, she's in her feminine, and it works fantastic. There's times when, she might come out of her call, or she might be in her masculine, and if I'm like, hey, we're going to do this, then you can have a clash because it's two leaders. So then sometimes I let her go, okay, cool, yep, that's in her role, she's doing that with her empire, and then I've got, there's always a time and place where you can judge to play that role. So when I was in my feminine, Regan basically gave me two months, and if I was going to be still emotionally retarded, as I call it, if I was still going to sook and keep feeling sorry for myself, if I wasn't going to start to have an income, if I wasn't going to get myself back into, I won't say the workforce, that's how I created beast mode, was that I didn't want to go back into a 9-to-5 job. I knew there was something bigger and better there for me. And through her challenging me and saying, hey, you need to find your masculine, you need to and let's be honest, yeah, and this is what I say to my guys, the way you're acting now, if you're a female, would you find that attractive? Fucking no way you wouldn't, because she's dealing with, not saying there's nothing wrong with women, but that woman is dealing with another woman trapped in a man's body. You want a man to say, hey babe, I've got this, don't worry, this is what we're doing. Hey, chuck a nice dress on, we're going to go out tonight. Yeah, don't worry, all right, we've got these bills, that's all right, we're going to sort it out, don't worry, we're together, I've got your back. Someone, a woman needs to outlay, yeah, a woman can't be strong all the time. She needs to just fall into a man's arms and just say, you know what, he's got that. And that's what it's about. And, a woman doesn't want, babe, can I lend some money? Where do you want to go to dinner? Well, I don't know, where do you want to go? She just wants to be swept off her feet. She wants to be led. I was going to say dominated, not dominated, it's not a good word. She wants to be led, and she wants to feel appreciated. She wants to feel loved. She wants to feel special, and she wants to be, at the end of the day, like how, let's look at these old movies. Look at the way the men treat the women. These days, it's completely different. More men are walking around in their feminine, and, and you see these relationships, and you look at it, and the ladies that fucking masculine, and the guy's like a little mouse, and he's following it to the lady. Like you see him even when they check into a hotel, or they go to they'll go to a restaurant. The lady goes and says, oh well, yep, this is our name, and the man's fucking 10 feet behind her like a little sparrow. It doesn't work that way. The man should lead the woman, say, hey, yep, this is the reservations under so and so. Yep, thank you. The lady doesn't need to do that. The man does. Or if you're going to go into a restaurant to get a table, you lead the woman. You open the door, etiquette, chivalry, all that stuff. So I've taught you some stuff there regarding polarity, and if you're finding you've got this in your relationship, women, that your man is basically emotionally dependent, he's not providing, and you're leading, calling the shots, and you're the one that's, with the dreams and expectations, it's an energy shift. It's polarity, yeah? And look, nothing's broken. It's just, you just need to shift that. You need to lead your man, or your man needs to lead you. He needs to step up at his masculine. You drop out of your masculine down into your feminine, and it becomes attractive. You'll be attracted to one another. And that's the same when I was in my feminine. Regan wasn't attracted to me being, sitting there crying, feeling sorry for myself, complaining. That's not attractive. But me getting my shit sorted, saying, hey, babe, we've got these awesome plans. Hey, look at these wins on the board. We've just created an empire. Look what we're doing. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go on this holiday. I've got that surprise for you. That's what's attractive. So I reach out to the women of the world. A lot of the guys are reaching out, but a lot of them are scared, because if they reach out and say, hey, look, Lee, I need your help, they feel that's a sign of weakness. Like, I've spoken to a lot of men, and they're like, well, I should get my shit sorted. I'm old fashioned. You know, I don't need any help. I don't need a coach. I don't need a mentor. And these are the ones behind closed doors that are, you know, in the most pain. These are the ones that end up doing something fucking stupid because they let it build up. They think that they've got it sorted. They think that they're going to get through it being a tight ass, not investing any money, watching fucking podcasts and YouTube clips. I call that a cheap man's education. And they think that they're going to get it through that way. You know, of course it's going to give you a little bit of, bit of value, but you're going to be crawling towards your goals instead of sprinting towards it. So women, I've given you some teachings today, you know, to see if you have a polarity shift, or oh my God, that's in our relationship, you know, I'm such the leader, you know, my man's the follower. That's because you are in a polarity imbalancement, if that's a word. Well, it is now because I made it one. So reach out. If you want to know more about it, we can organize a call, and there's so much more I could teach you about regarding, you know, certain circumstances in your relationship and why it's not firing, why you don't have that sexual drive anymore, why aren't you attracted to your partner. It's because you're having a depolarization. You're in your masculine, which in your core you're feminine, the women, and the man in his core is masculine but he's in his feminine, and this normally happens because you guys aren't stepping up in your role. So reach out to me. Let's get this sorted. Let's get balanced. And you know what? This year is a year for you to get your sexy back.